What is a project dashboard? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the game-changing magic of being able to see your KPIs, your project status, the status of your procurement, and any other system component that must be implemented on your project. I'm going to give you some examples of dashboards that we use, how we use them, and then some other cool things like the emails that we send out to clients or the visuals that we create as an audit. The bottom line is that all lean systems are seeing systems, and you can't have a lean project unless you can see that project and be able to identify problems and resolve them. So let me take you to my computer right now, show you some examples. I don't want to freak you out. There's quite a few things, but the things on the board don't matter. It's when you go through it and identify problems. So if you had 50 things on your board, that's fine. Spend 10 minutes and go through and grade yourself, right? But then actually mark in red dots or red magnets the problem areas, and let's say you had 5. Those 5 things are the agenda in your meeting where you review this. Get rid of problems before they impact you. That's the purpose of our dashboards. So I'm going to show you that example right now on my computer. Let's go. Okay, everybody, I'm really excited to be with you. I'm going to show you my vision for what a project dashboard is and dive right into this. And this might be a little bit counterintuitive. But here's my point. Stay with me. I don't really care just to show information. I believe that showing the information is for the purpose of finding problems. And so the point that I really want to make is when I have dashboards, I really want to find the problems. And so I will use the chicken pox analogy, just like used it when we were talking about the fresh ice board. This visual doesn't look a whole lot different than the board that we create for the fresh ice, but here's the bottom line. If we have a dashboard, here's the timeline on the top, here's the outline for the pre-construction process, first planner system, TACT, last planner, the trade partner preparation process, here's our zone maps, here's our production plan, here's all of our logistics maps, these are the conditions of satisfaction, these are the different areas on our building, just anything you would want, anything that's a planning document for this project. Here's why I use dashboards. Again, want it to look like chicken pox. I know it sounds silly, but every project has diseases like chicken pox, and we need to be able to see it. And we're grateful when somebody has chicken pox for the red dots, right? Because then you can go get treatment, soothe the itching, the pain, right? And so I don't care to just see nice numbers on a dashboard. I want to use it to actually find problems. And so I want to show you this little email over here to the right. This is an IPS grading and action items list, and this was sent to a project basically grading the first planner system, TAC production system, and last planner system, and then actually going into the scorecards that we use to find out where we are winning and where we are not. And so the point that I want to make is that this dashboard right here was for the purpose of bringing out problems to trigger action, and I think that that's quite remarkable. So let me show you a couple of things. Lean Built, when we do our dashboard, we will have all of this information, and yes, it's hard to do this. No, it's not super easy to do this. Most people are like, Jason, can't we just put this on Power BI and make it automated? I don't want that. I want human beings looking at the timeline. I want human beings making sure that we've done the pre-construction process properly. You see, I'm already checking it off. I want human beings coming in here and using these dots to find problems and scoring ourselves with how we're doing with first planner, the TAC production system, last planner, our meetings, the trade partner preparation process. I want us to score our team health. I want people to look at if there's any constraints on our visual maps. I want to see if we're meeting our conditions of satisfaction. I want to see if we have any problems from a logistical standpoint. I want to see if we have any problems in the actual TAC plan. So I want to use this in a way where I as a human being can interact with this and find the problems. So no, I don't want to automate this. No, I don't want Power BI to do this. I want all planning documents current right here on a dashboard so that we can see what we need to see. One of the best things for a dashboard like this is to be able to show the owner what the status is, right? And you can actually go in here and show the status of pre-construction, show the status of all of the systems, show the status. And then what happens is if you find problems, then you bring it down here into the concerns, over here into the concerns. Oh, there's a problem here, over into the concerns, over into the concerns, right? If it's a constraint or a roadblock, you bring it over into the constraints. If it's a roadblock, you bring it over here. And basically this section right over here is where you have the discussion with the project team and you solve problems together. So your dashboard is for IDS, identify, discuss, and solve. And what I want everybody to do is when they're using this dashboards and you're solving problems is to report out to the rest of the team. So I've already shown you the little example over here of the report out on the email, but let me actually show you something really cool. This is actually a different job. We're not to this yet on the Lean Belt project, but this project that's doing well, High Street, shout out to the project team. But these emails show the status of the overall project. They show the progress. They show roadblocks, who's in charge of them, show the roadblock list, safety observations, procurement concerns, important dates coming up, and then the actual data. So whether it's an email or it's an actual report out with a scorecard or it's just the red dots on the board, you know I wouldn't be me if I didn't do this one more time and just acted a little bit annoying here. We want to make sure that we're identifying and discussing and solving the problems. And so if I see an email or an audit or whatever the case may be, I use a project dashboard to identify, discuss, and solve problems. And that's what creates flow, ladies and gentlemen. And because if you can clear the path, you can go fast. Going fast does not come from rushing and pushing and panicking. Going fast comes from making work ready. And one of the best ways for us to make work ready is to see out ahead and have indicators like a dashboard. I just did a podcast the other day of, your dashboard on your car has little warning lights if you're low on oil or if you're overheating. Do we have a dashboard for our project where when we mark these red dots and make it look like it has chicken pox, where we see, hey, is the project low on oil? Is it overheating, right? Are we going too fast? Are we over capacity, right? So the dashboards are to make sure that the system is working properly and that we can stay safe. It's not just to look at pretty numbers. So we'll give you an example of this in the description below, and we'd love to hear your questions. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.